At our core, we're a hardware channel. Think of it like
Right.
these big tech companies. I like to compare it to a car dealership. So say you want a Ford or a Dodge or a Porsche, you don't go off the assembly line to get that truck. You get it from a local dealer. So that's what we are. We're a channel where you can purchase all of the different technology companies that manufacture technology, and you can purchase it through us for added support, and just we deal with the local logistics and the distribution of the technology. What we do is we help build the backbone of the IT infrastructure through servers, which is where all the data is stored, as well as the networking, which is what allows you to access that data and get to the information. We also sell endpoints, which are just laptops, right? So everything that the company is using to connect to the internet and connect to the internal applications is what we focus on.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. One of your hosts here, Trey King. And today we are very excited to have our guest, Mr. Tyler Webb from Adapture. And we'll be diving into his story a little bit, what it is that his company does. And then, as always, some engaging insights into the technology industry. So make sure to stick around for this one. But without further ado, Tyler, welcome to the Grow IT podcast. Thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
Excellent. Tyler, if you don't mind, if we can kick things off, if you could kindly just, introduce yourself and, tell us just a bit about your background, please.
Absolutely. So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I know the Grow IT team is worldwide, so that's super cool. But here, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, I've been a Georgia resident my whole life. Definitely on the bucket list to go travel, see a lot of places. I've been to Mexico, out of the country. Just got back from Puerto Rico as well. So very beautiful places.
Awesome.
Love the lushness and the greenness of the islands, but would also like to go see some tundra type of climates one day. So some professional background on me. I have about 3 years of sales experience in the B2B industry. I also am very much interested in personal branding and e-commerce and things of that nature. I think everyone is seeing the trend, right, of things going more online day by day. And so
Yeah.
that's why I'm excited to be in the IT industry professionally, because essentially what we do at Adapture is adapt is in the name. So our whole mantra is to think forward. Technology is always changing, and if you're not ahead of the wave with how rapid things are changing nowadays, you're going to get left behind. And so what we do is we are a consultant on the IT front, which is basically the background of the backbone of the business. So without the underlying IT infrastructure, nothing can go on. It's like when when all your family's in town for Christmas and everyone's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi and everyone wants to stream their own things. Think about how slow the Wi-Fi gets. Well, a business can't have that happen. So what we do is we provide state-of-the-art IT hardware as well as services to help configure and make sure everything is set up properly. Like when you get a new iPhone, you need to go through the setup. So we provide the IT hardware and then the services on top of that to make sure that the network can run smoothly so that everyone can do their job. And in an ideal world, Treg, you don't know we exist because everything is working smoothly, right?
Good point. Good point. Awesome. Tell me, Tyler, based on your expertise, what's all like the current market trends in your industry that you're aware of? Like what ways are the wind blowing these days?
Well, you can only go so far into a podcast nowadays without hearing the term AI, right?
The
So
buzzword, man. It's the
I
buzzword.
mean, that's the next big thing. But what people don't really realize is that AI has actually been around for a very long time. The difference is the amount of data that we have access to and the amount of compute power that we have. So historically, you could do basic predictions with a computer and basic machine learning, which is just teaching a computer how to do math and how to do statistics and using previous data to make predictions for the future. That is not a new concept necessarily, but the vast amount of compute power that we have availability now is what's making the new AI boom, with these data centers popping up everywhere with massive amounts of power usage and compute power. And so that's really why we're able to see these super large complex models come about. So AI is not necessarily a new thing, but it has reached a much new level of power that we're seeing. And so of course, what on our side, number one, all of our clients are looking to invest in some sort of AI for themselves, but also all of them that we sell, companies like Cisco and Dell and Lenovo and Cloudflare, all these technology companies, they're also including AI in their products. And so that's going to be a race of its own on who's going to be able to have the best AI integrated in their products, whether it's to improve security by scanning for more threats or just improving the performance through different channels. That is what the competition is right now. And so of course everyone's focusing on it. But at the same way, you can't really have that AI without a strong network and a strong backbone to transfer that vast amount of data.
Right. The from I think this is maybe a good time. You touched on it a bit earlier, but this is maybe a good time for the listeners, if you don't mind, just to elaborate a bit more on specifically what it is, what your company does.
Absolutely. So at our core, we're a hardware channel. So think of it like
Right.
these big tech companies. Like I like to compare it to a car dealership. So say you want a Ford or a Dodge or a Porsche, you don't go off the assembly line to get that truck. You get it from a local dealer. So that's what we are. We're a channel where you can purchase all of the different technology companies that manufacture technology, and you can purchase it through us for added support, added, and just we deal with the local logistics and the distribution of the technology. So what we do is we help build the backbone of the IT infrastructure through servers, which is where all the data is stored, as well as the networking, which is what allows you to access that data and get to the information. We also sell endpoints, which are just laptops, right? So
Right.
everything that the company is using to connect to the internet and connect to the internal applications is what we focus on.
Right. Tell me, you've already mentioned now a lot of value, but in your own words, what would you say is like like the most significant value what your business can bring to other businesses?
I would say that there's no dollar sign on peace of mind. And so, with everything evolving and everything rapidly changing, like we discussed, I was
Yep.
just coming back from Puerto Rico the other week and I was going through airport security and I was just thinking, if these computers went down right now, I would be stuck in a whole different island, not even on the mainland of America, right? And so
Yes.
so if there
That would be
is
challenging.
it would be so challenging. So if there is a cyber attack or if there is downtime in any of these IT environments, we can't afford a second of downtime because depending on the size of your business, that's millions and millions of dollars that are lost for every 10 minutes that the network is down. So the like I said, if we do our job right, then you won't even know we're there. But if something goes wrong, then everything almost falls apart very, very quickly. So the peace of mind that we can provide through consulting and through state of the art products that are updated on security and are the highest performance possible, that is where the value is driven for the rest of the business to operate.
Gotcha. Tell me, Tyler, the obviously what you guys do is for all types of industry, right? But is there like specific markets that you guys like mainly focus on, or like typical clientele, or is it just all scattered around markets?
Absolutely. So yes, you're right. There are every industry needs IT. That's the beautiful part about it. And specifically at our company, we are in a great medium market size to be able to go after different industries just based on relationships and based on personal interest. So say my family comes from the manufacturing background, I'm able to focus on that industry. While if somebody, we have a lot of financial services clients,
Right.
we work with movie theater chains, with retailers, with e-commerce stores. So it's a vast breadth of what we can cover, and it really is up to personal preference of what language do you want to speak. All these different industries have different compliance standards to go by and different challenges that they face. And so it's really just, whose problems do you want to obsess over and who do you want to help the most?
Got it. And then, in your opinion, if we can maybe just talk about business in general, in your opinion, you specialize in your trade. What mindset would you say is needed to be like successful as a leader in your position?
Well, if you look at the sales side of things, resilience is going to be one of the most important traits. Resilience means being able to face challenges and overcome them and just keep pushing forward no matter what happens on the outside.
Right.
Um, that is so important because sales is difficult. When you look at Steph Curry, he's one of the best three-point shooters of all time. He makes less than half of every shot he takes. When you look at
Yeah.
these professional baseball players who are making tens of millions of dollars a year and they get on base 25% of the time or 30% of the time, that they
Yeah.
make millions and millions of dollars. So understanding that it is, yes, a numbers game, but also don't get too attached to the outcome. In sales, you have to be resilient, and this is a tough market. I think it's harder than ever. You would probably attest to this based on your business background, that to cut through the noise, it's harder and harder to be an industry leader, to be known, and to so really you have to have some sort of unique value, and you have to be known for providing the best solution possible.
Solution possible. You've obviously I've been doing this for quite some time. We've got a lot of young listening audience as well, and we always ask the specialist that comes on, is there maybe one or two golden nuggets, right, that you can provide with, of things that you've learned in your career, that you're willing to share.
Absolutely. I think the biggest takeaway for anybody listening, but the younger you are, the more important it is. And I'll give an example. So it's the compounding effect. And so the most common example of that is compound interest, right? They say you save for many, many, many years, and by year 25, year 30, now you're making these really significant gains due to the compound interest that you've gained. But what people fail to realize, in my opinion, is that every decision we make compounds. So if you're spending your young years, people say live it up and have as much fun as possible. Sure, I agree with that. Enjoy life. But keep in mind that your health decisions, your money decisions, your career decisions, all of these things are going to compound over the years. And so you
Mm,
really have to ask yourself, looking forward into the future, where do I want to be in 5 to 10 years? Because 5 years ago, you were probably somewhere completely different than you thought you'd be right now. So really, really think about and plan your steps forward, and just understand that every decision compounds. I'll give you one last example. An airplane flying from New York to Los Angeles, if it's off by just a couple of degrees, you'll end up hundreds of miles off your destination. So
yeah,
I
that's a,
think
that's a good analogy.
that's the biggest takeaway, is just everything you do is compounding.
Awesome. Tyler, I need to thank you for hopping on today. Listening to you mentioned the value that your guys, your business brings to other businesses, and obviously getting to know you as leading sales for the company as well. I can understand why you guys are so successful and growing so well. So thanks for sharing today, and thanks for hopping on. Before I let you go, where can they get hold of you guys?
So our company website, adapture.com, adapt, URE at the end.com. That's where you can reach out to us. Just fill in a form and they come straight to my team. And we're going to reach out. And just depending on whatever IT challenges you're facing, we handle networking, we handle security, data and cloud, and also endpoints. So the full stack, we want to be a one-stop shop for folks where any problem they have, we become an extension of your team and we're here to help. So adapture.com, that's where you can find us.
Awesome. Tyler, thanks for hopping on today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Trey.
Take care.